The views and opinions expressed on Dojo Drifter Live are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Wusa Studios, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The shows produced by Wusa Studios can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and might include strong themes, images, sex, or language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
What's up, guys?
From Wusa Studios in Pasig City, Philippines.
That's right, guys. This is Dojo Drifter Live, the first,
the only,
MMA podcast here in Asia. What's up? This is Gab.
And this is Oji.
and I'm Spanky.
And we're here pretty much to give you guys the latest and hottest MMA headlines from around the globe. But for those of you wondering, ano ba tong MMA? These guys keep talking about MMA. Spanky will explain it to you.
Explain.
MMA is mixed martial arts. It is a combination of everything from boxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, etc. And they test it in the cage.
Yes,
Mix
and then
everything up and perform live in front of everyone.
yeah. So for today, our program will be a bit different from what it was last week. We have some giveaways for you guys. If you follow us on Facebook, you'd notice we're giving away 2 items, one FC lanyard and a 1 FC primer, signed by Edward Folayang himself. So these are pretty cool items, and all you have to do is answer one easy question.
For you guys who don't know Edward Folayang, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that
we'll
later.
get to that later.
For
The
sure.
question of the day is pretty simple. What MMA team does Edward Folayang represent? Okay, so you just tweet in those answers, or you can call us, and automatically you get these items for the first person to answer the question right.
Alright, you could always tweet us at Dojo_Drifter or call us at 631-2264. The number is down there.
Oops.
And as I said, the Twitter handle is Dojo_Drifter. And to start, as usual, we start with the Dojo Drifter 5 rounds.
The 5
Okay.
rounds.
So you might ask, ano ba tong 5 rounds na to? 5 rounds, just like in a usual MMA pay-per-view event, we have 5 rounds, the 5 of the hottest MMA headlines,
Yep.
5 of the hottest MMA news the past week. So, let's start with round 1.
Okay, what do we got?
We got Machida fights Musashi. It's been announced, guys.
Yes, finally. So I've been, the speculation going about on who Machida might fight. There was Vitor Belfort at one point.
Just
Michael
to emphasize,
Bisping.
the 185 division.
Yeah, this is at middleweight. So all these middleweight contenders are being brought up to fight him. But it's looking like it's booked.
gonna be
Musashi versus Belfort.
Yegar Musashi.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yegar,
Musashi
yeah.
versus
Dude,
Machida.
I've been calling this guy Gerard for the
Same here.
longest time.
Same here, man.
And, I just want to get his name right. It's Yegar Musashi.
Yeah. What's up
And-
with these foreign fighters? But
I don't
yeah.
know, dude. Just a brief background on Yegar Musashi
Okay.
is he's his record is pretty impressive. He was a former middleweight champion. That's 185 pounds in Dream, and he was a former Strikeforce light heavyweight champion. So this guy's no joke. I mean, he's that guy. I think we've discussed before who if there was a 195 pound division,
he'd be perfect.
He'd be
yeah.
perfect for that. But
Yep.
he's fighting Machida at 85, and I think the weight cut's not going to be a problem, and it's going to be
No
a
way,
competitive fight. I'm looking forward to that.
Machida,
Definitely,
another
definitely.
guy coming from the light heavyweight.
Yeah,
and
dude.
going down to the middleweight. It's pretty interesting. Considering that Musashi's won the light heavyweight champion in Strikeforce and in Dream.
Dream,
Actually, he's a
at
former light
185 for
heavyweight
sure.
champ and the middleweight champ. And if you look at his resume on Sherdog, it's pretty impressive. I mean, he's won fights against Babalu. He won the championship against Babalu.
Babalu Sobral, yeah.
And then he won against Latifi at light heavyweight in UFC.
Yeah.
That was that.
His
last
debut,
fight.
was it
Yeah.
his debut?
in
Yeah, for sure.
UFC.
So this guy is really one of the big names outside of the UFC.
He was supposed to fight
hardcore fans would know about.
Gustafsson, but
What
you
happened?
remember he suffered a cut,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen.
Gustafsson had a cut over his eye.
For sure. I don't know if it was an issue if Gustafsson was ducking him or whatever because
No.
he wanted to fight for the title. But I'm not questioning that. It's just
Okay.
it happened. But he was supposed to fight Gustafsson, so this guy's no joke.
Yeah, so this fight is gonna happen in February. So you guys keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. Check out updates on dojodrifter.com or check it out every Monday, Dojo Drifter Live. So, as a last word, who you think would win?
Man, I'm going with Machida. Plain and simple, man. He's just too good, and he's a beast at 185. Machida all the way.
How about you?
I'm gonna play spoiler here. Spoiler. I'm just gonna go for the underdog. I'm going to go with Gegard Mousasi.
All right, man.
I don't know. For me, Machida hasn't been tested. This is gonna be a test for him.
Well, with the impressive win against Munoz, sadly, our Filipino compatriot won. We've tackled that last week.
I mean, he lost.
He lost, sorry. But I think Machida would win it. I mean, as you saw that last fight, he was perfect at 185.
I'm gonna be
Ang ganda ng katawan, ganda ng cardio.
and he brings the power. That's what
exactly.
Joe Rogan's been saying, and all of these analysts have been saying. Like, this guy doesn't cut weight to make 205. He has the power at 205 still, and at 85, he's just gonna be a beast again. But I'm gonna be a bit biased because
Lucky
I just
punch?
want revenge. From
Oh, that's
Paul
a good
Lambert.
point. In
Yeah,
that case,
that's
man,
it.
I'm rooting for Gegard as well.
Yes, nice. It's a good one for
Alright.
sure.
So that's done. Round 1 in the books. On to round 2. So round 2 is Aldo versus Llamas and Cruz versus Barao being added to UFC 169.
I would make a perfect ring girl.
Yeah,
Or-
I think so.
You know what I
Dana
mean? I'm
White.
just saying. Dana
Dana
White,
White.
shout out.
Or actually, much better, kung may nanonood dyan and gustong mag-ring girl for us,
Tama.
we don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Tawag
legit.
lang.
Guys and girls, open to guys and
again-
girls.
Again, I just want to.
Ewan ko lang.
I just want to remind everyone, like, if you're gonna tweet us, don't forget the hashtag Dojo Drifter.
Yeah, man.
Just hashtag Dojo Drifter.
Or
Or
tweet
call
us directly
Yeah.
at Dojo_Drifter. So, what do you guys think? Aldo versus Llamas first.
It's a great fight. I think people wanted to see Llamas fight for the title a long time ago. But for me, Aldo is pound for pound one of the best, if not the
Yep.
best out there.
More on that later.
So, there, I'd go with Aldo, man.
What's your take, G?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with this weight division, it's pretty exciting because there are a lot of new fighters coming in.
For sure.
These guys are a lot lighter than what we're used to seeing.
Yep.
I mean, the heavyweight fights, the light heavyweight
For
fights.
sure. It's more technical.
It's more technical, fast-paced fights.
Yeah.
Bugbugan lang to.
These guys are
As
exciting.
in sobrang exciting. Tuloy-tuloy lang yung fights. And yeah, I think this card, Aldo versus Llamas, Cruz versus Barao, it just adds to, it just adds attention to the
Lighter weight, yeah,
weight
lighter weight
classes.
division.
And ever
Kasi
since-
right now, wala eh. The attention's been in middleweight, light heavy,
For sure.
and
For
heavy.
sure.
Yeah.
And ever since the UFC and people forget that the WEC was where these lighter weight classes came from and were emphasized in MMA. It's people forget that when the UFC bought the WEC or absorbed the WEC talent,
Yeah.
it was hard for people like Tyson Griffin to compete at 55 when their natural weight class is 45.
Yeah.
And with weight cutting, which will be in another episode, with so much science going into weight cutting, and these guys, being so big when they rehydrate, it's a perfect matchup for me. It's Aldo versus Lamas, and Lamas is a beast at 45.
Yeah.
He
He's a
can compete at
finisher. He's a
55, I
finisher,
remember.
Yeah.
And that's always the problem when you're competing against Jose Aldo because he also walks around at 170, so he's a big guy.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that. And Cruz Barao, Cruz has been out for the longest time. He's coming
Finally,
back.
finally
Yeah.
we'll see him.
And he says that there is no ring rust or cage rust in this. In
But
this
everyone says that.
Yeah,
man.
dude. And I like that. It's a confidence of a champion. And Barao it's his title to lose. I mean, literally he's
Yeah.
been holding on to an interim belt,
Interim.
and we'll see. It's exciting fights, both fights.
Yeah, just like who was a fighter that held the interim for
welterweight,
GSP? Yeah.
it was Condit.
Condit.
Yeah, there, and then GSP would often say, right?
For sure.
That he is a
that
true
not your
champion.
bet.
Yeah.
Diba? It's
GSP was an interim champion before when Matt Sarah was on the shelf. So I do not
Ah,
want
true.
this belt I
Yeah,
would
I
like
remember.
my own belt, and it's with Matsera and my opponent. So GSP impressions coming up.
Yeah, but
Later.
there, but you know,
For sure.
like what you said. I mean, an interim is just an interim
For sure.
until
Yeah.
he fights the real champ.
Yeah.
No disrespect to these guys who hold that interim belt.
Yeah, I mean
think-
they're the best at that
For
moment.
sure.
But you know, they just have to be proven. So
This other thing that I noticed during the video of Dominic Cruz when he did an open workout.
For
He
sure.
was saying that he's in good health and everything. He was wearing sweatpants. He wasn't wearing the typical fight shorts. I think they're trying. His
Get him
leg really doesn't look like it's back to where it should be. I mean, why was he wearing that outfit? Just nitpicking a bit.
And that's I get your point. It's hard being a champion who's been out for so long.
It's like 2 years or something.
yeah,
man.
it's like a little. It's been over a year, more like 2 years. Feels like 2 years, and your first fight, you don't get to warm up because you are the champion. You're
Yeah.
gonna face the top guy
Yeah,
right
yeah.
away. So that's the problem with Dominic Cruz. It's a risk for him, and you know, I don't know. What are your predictions with Cruz Barao and Aldo Lamas, just to give the guys?
Well, yeah. I'm a
At
huge Cruz fan. He's solid. I love his movement, the
Yeah,
footwork,
yeah.
and everything.
So
pretty
awkward.
good fighter.
But the way I see it, man, Barao is just like 30-fight winning
Beast,
streak.
man, and he's a beast.
It's hard to stop a guy that young,
For
athletic, and good. So I would have to go with Barao, but I'd have no problem with Cruz taking it.
For sure.
honestly.
What about the
Barao.
Aldo Barao?
Barao
for
KO,
you?
yeah.
I'm going with Barao because also these guys are animals, and let's not forget his training partner is Jose Aldo also.
Oh, yeah.
see,
Nuvo
yeah.
Anyao. So I'm going with Aldo versus Lamas. So we'll see. Stranger things have happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
But bottom line, interesting things happening at
The
45,
lighter weight
so,
classes,
Yep.
for sure.
So on to round 3.
Round 3. Wait a second. Man, we gotta get some ring girls up in here, man.
Round
three.
3. We touched on this last week. It was
Poblador.
supposed to happen. Rampage versus Tito. Now they've found a replacement. It's Rampage, Quinton Jackson versus Joey Beltran, former UFC fighter as well.
Oh man,
What do you think?
don't get me started.
This is fun. I mean, I'm glad they found a big name fighter to fight Rampage. So you don't
mean a UFC,
a former UFC guy.
yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
this really, it makes Bellator look bad that they take the scraps from UFC and
Yeah.
throw them into the main event.
Exactly.
It looks bad for them, but whatever. At least you get. Quinton said that he's in great shape, so at least you don't put that to waste. You don't put his training to waste to get him in
You know,
there.
dude, that would look even worse if Rampage already fought Joey Beltran in the UFC, and if it happened that they would fight again, it would be the rematch. It would be
This-
so boring. You know what I mean?
It's hard to sell that.
Thank
man.
This-
God that-
this is Bellator trying to hype up their.
For sure.
their
No,
event,
I'm
yeah.
not. There is some legit talent in Bellator. I'm saying that, and
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys agree. You know, even though we haven't seen a ton of fights from Bellator, but there is some legit talent. It's just you can't deny these guys coming off the UFC, even though they're old and you know they've been kicked out basically of the UFC,
Yeah.
been cut by the UFC, and they have to be the main card because UFC is just the monster that in
Yeah,
MMA.
it's the most popular marquee
Exactly.
promotion.
I'm just
huh?
saying.
Yeah.
Yep. But
So-
well, it's a good fight stylistically. I think
Uh-huh.
they're gonna trade punches. Rampage has always been looking for a sparring partner in the ring. I mean,
Only way to sell Bellator tickets. Both guys have to bring it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line though. I mean, if Joey Beltran doesn't just runs around
that won't
trying
happen.
to escape
Oh.
Rampage, then
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
gonna be a
Beltran
flop.
come out with a flying knee, man.
Yeah, these
Knocks
guys.
out that, no?
Just knocks out Rampage. Dude,
That
Bellator
would
would
suck.
just explode.
It would like Elite XC. It would crumple,
oh my
man.
god, are you serious? No, I mean like Rampage, hyping it up, and Joey Beltran comes out flying knee, or like it
Oh,
would be okay.
shit.
Let's say a one-round war. After one round, round 3 comes out with a flying knee, BJ Penn style.
Oh.
Would that be better? After
Well,
filling out
I'd
process?
find it so entertaining, and goddamn, I can't believe that happened. But that would suck for Bellator, man. That would
I'm
suck
always
for
with
them.
it, dude. It would
Exciting.
would suck.
Oh yeah, that would
It
be.
would suck, man. It's like their money fighter got knocked out by
There are other money fighter. What's
money
up?
fight if Beltran, alright.
Oh, dude, I could see it happening. It's like if Beltran knocks out Rampage, or either way, if Rampage knocks out Beltran, it's like, I'm calling out Tito Ortiz. This is not gonna happen again. I will save your neck and all of that. You know what
That's
I mean?
if
Yeah, yeah.
Rampage wins. of
Yeah.
course. I mean, makaswerte si Beltran.
Dude, I
right
see,
on the jaw. I mean,
I see
Quinton still
Beltran
had
calling out Tito also, dude. Okay, if he's
same thing that would happen.
Jeez.
God, man.
Okay.
Although, yeah, that'd be a bad, that'd be a bad
move,
cycle for Bellator.
sure,
I mean,
man.
well, UFC dropouts. What can we do? We'll
Yeah.
tackle that some other
For
day.
sure.
So on to round 4.
Championship.
Another big
championship
news
rounds.
for the UFC. Lil Nog just got pulled out against
Gustafsson, man.
Gustafsson. It was another fight that we tackled on last week. Pretty sad. I mean, dude, personally, I wanted them to fight. I wanted them to slug it out, to wrestle, but it's not happening. Again, old fighters, just like the Tito pullout.
Yeah, and he's
Old fighter.
pulled out of several fights already.
So many fights.
He pulled out of a fight with Gustafsson in 2012. Pulled out of a fight with Shogun recently. Pulled out of a fight with Rich Franklin in 2012 as well. So the
the list
little
goes on and on.
Nog is always injured. So you got to think about like his career, like how will it go from here,
For sure.
and
He's
all
not getting
that.
any younger.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying, we know it's a reality of the sport that
Yeah.
you get injured, but it's like, how often do you get injured? I know Dominic Cruz has been injured, but it's one injury and he's been on the shelf. It was serious. But Lil Nog has been. It's a fine line between getting injured or just being fragile.
Yeah.
But the guy's a
And-
fighter, so
Yeah.
I don't know,
And they
it's a-
describe it as a lingering back injury. Lingering, that means it's always there. It always comes up once in a
you
while.
gotta get it
And that's
fixed,
what's
man.
worrisome.
And that's the thing
Uh-huh.
with Brazilian fighters, though. I mean, if their conditioning isn't that great. I mean, you might debate me on this, but as far as I see, we've got a lot of. Even his brother actually has been out for some time, and I don't know. Maybe it's because of their whole traditional approach in
I get
fighting.
it. I think I get what you're saying, Ochi.
Yeah,
Is because he's not bashing the conditioning of these Brazilian fighters. It's just I think they're relying too much on being from Brazil, being Brazilian.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
Everybody's
mean,
gonna fear, I'm a Brazilian, have the cauliflower ears
Yeah.
and the jiu-jitsu black belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also that tradition, the Vale Tudo,
Yeah.
Shuto box style.
Yeah,
Na
yeah,
banat
yeah.
ka lang ng banat
Yeah, yeah,
until you
yeah.
get injured. Like you just keep going. So actually, it's like there's no quit in these Brazilians, and because of that, possibly that's why they.
I
a lot
bet
of them get
they're.
injured.
I bet they're not going light. I mean, if
No
you
way,
know,
no way.
you know what I mean. It's an injury. It happens, but love to see Lil Nog. And yeah, if you wanna do your research on Little Nog, fight against Tito. As
Yeah,
Yeah,
quality.
Sick body shot, dude.
Quality fight.
the
Yeah.
same. Tito crumbled, and
Mhm.
that's it.
Exactly. Would have loved seeing him fight another boxer.
So, for sure, for sure.
In Gustafsson.
Yeah, man.
But on a side note,
Mhm.
I mean the Brazilians versus Sonnen issue is back. With Sonnen
Sounds
calling
odd.
It's
him
never
out.
gonna go away,
Yep,
actually.
Exactly.
But yeah, Sonnen really sounded off on Little Nog on Twitter.
Asshole.
No man,
No, dude,
because he was
speaks
calling
his
him out.
mind.
It was funny.
Speaks
He's saying
his
that
mind.
one of his tweets was that Little Nog went during Halloween. He went as a fighter, but didn't get any candy because no one believed him.
And the gloves for sale, right?
Yeah.
All posted on dojodrifter.com.
Gloves for
Check it
sale,
out.
never been used. So that's funny, man. If you want to get the whole exact tweet, it's on Dojo Drifter on Facebook,
Yeah.
and follow us on Twitter. So it's Dojo_Drifter.
Yep.
Hashtag Dojo Drifter. Again, just to remind everyone, for our callers and for everyone who wants to win again, this
Awesome.
autograph
A primer.
Yeah.
primer of
Let's
1FC autographed by your very own Edward,
Edward
Landslide
Falayang.
man.
Yep,
So
yep.
Get to Colin, man. I
So-
bet you're at home doing nothing.
Go tweet, or you're at work, which
Doing nothing?
Yeah, doing nothing, which I just
Oh, that's
escaped from.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to end
Hi,
the Little
boss.
Nog debate. What's next for Gustafsson? I mean, he's the healthy fighter. He just came off from a brutal fight against John Jones. It was a fight that was pretty much debatable, or
Yeah, yeah.
he could have won it if he just put extra effort in it. But yeah, bottom line is Gustafsson is healthy as hell. One hell of a fighter. Great match before. He just came off a great match. What's next?
I don't know, dude. For me, it's you can't pit him against these lower echelon guys at 205.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
but everyone's so busy. Like Teixeira has Jones.
Okay.
You have game guys like Maldonado, but again, like I said, he's at the bottom of the lower echelon, and Machida's out of the 205 race.
That would have
Yeah,
been great.
I'd
Oh,
like
yeah,
to see
great
Phil
fight.
Davis versus Gustafsson too.
For sure,
but they're
but-
teammates, so that might get in the way of that.
Hey
So-
man, I mean, if it's for a title shot, I think it's
Yeah,
but it's
and
gonna be hard. I mean, the politics of the MMA and being
Yeah,
teammates
yeah.
for sure.
if it's gonna be the winner of Glover versus
Yes,
Jones,
yeah.
and then Gustafsson and
For sure.
Phil Davis, why not?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see what happens.
Okay,
We'll
yeah.
update you guys.
Alright.
So for the 5th and final round,
Again,
Wow.
guys, get us some ring girls. Come
news
on, man.
news from Bellator again. The lightweight championship has changed hands, and it was won by Chandler Alvarez yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
yesterday.
The Chandler
It was a
Alvarez
brutal fight. I saw
A
pictures.
great fight, part 2.
Sobrang
great fight.
duguan.
Eddie Alvarez posted pictures of his left eye.
Mhm.
He got a ton of stitches, man. If you follow these fighters on Instagram, they post their battle scars, and they're really proud of it. And Michael Chandler is the poster boy, apparently one of the poster boys of
Yeah, Bellator.
And the title changed hands again. So Alvarez was the former champ. He lost his title to Chandler,
And
then
then now he got it back.
Got it back, and it's Bellator. That's what I'm talking about. If you're looking for talent in Bellator, you watch these two guys go to war, man. UFC, give him a contract, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these guys really legit lightweight talent. And people were saying that the result was very controversial. Some people
Split decision,
believe that
right?
Chandler won. So split decision. So for sure, there's gonna be a part 3.
Yep,
I'd love to
yep,
see that.
Exactly.
If they bring it in part 3, I think it's just a matter of time before the UFC signs these two guys. And I'm sorry to say that Bellator is left with
Joey Beltran.
Joey
Bel-
Beltran and
Hey man,
Rampage.
I love the
Yeah.
executioner. I love
Yeah, solid.
Rampage Jackson, but guys, man, it's just a matter of time before the UFC just eats up Bellator.
No, but that's the thing, bro. I mean, before we end the 5 rounds, I just want to bring it up. I mean, Chandler Alvarez, quality fight.
For sure.
Pay-per-view quality fight. And that's the thing. I mean, dude, take care of your fighters. Don't let UFC grab them. This is the biggest opportunity for Bellator to
For sure.
Yeah.
you
Maximize their
anchor-
talent,
Yeah,
yeah.
maximize their talent, anchor on these two fighters, build on their roster from here on out. I mean, ONE FC doesn't have a problem with that since they're dealing with the Eastern market,
Asian market audience,
and
yeah.
they've accepted that. Actually,
sure.
they're like, we're good at this. We're good here. We don't need to go to the western part of the world and conquer
Yeah.
the states, which is working out for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bellator, dude, take care of your fighters. Don't let these two leave.
But my question is, like, even if I am, let's say, I am Eddie Alvarez as a competitor,
Okay.
I would like to face the best
Yeah,
guys in the
man.
world. And where
That's a
Pettis,
thing.
where do these
Melendez.
guys fight? It's the UFC.
It's the UFC. You gotta get the.
Okay, another issue is, even if I'm getting paid in Bellator to be their poster boy, my dream is to be fighting at the top of the food chain and to be associated with that top brand, which is undeniably the
The
UFC.
UFC.
So
Yeah.
it's always a question of, at the end of the day, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I'm not bashing Bellator. It's just that, man,
I mean-
you're competing against that big brother, which is
Yeah.
the UFC.
Case in point is
Monster.
Fedor.
Yeah.
Ah, exactly.
As great as he was,
Oh, man.
people still don't give him that much credit because he never fought
The
in the
knack
UFC.
on
Me
Fedor.
included.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think
he
he's a
was
big
great,
thing.
but he did fight in the UFC, and that kind of invalidates
For sure.
Yep.
some of his achievements. So if you're a fighter and you know that, you'd want to fight in the UFC to prove it.
It's sort of like the reverse of that Brock Lesnar coming
Yeah.
out of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
His record was, I don't know, was it
He-
5-2? He had
5-2,
Five.
yeah, that is his whole mixed martial arts record, 5-2.
And then he
But
went
be-
for the championship.
But because he fought in the UFC, fought Randy Couture, beat Randy Couture, fought Frank Mir, lost, and all of these in just a short amount of time. He's even there are talks that, is he going to the UFC Hall of Fame? You know
Yeah,
what I
that's.
mean?
I'm kind of surprised
Yeah.
at that.
As
Actually.
much as the lack of fighting in the UFC invalidates Fedor's legacy, it sort of also validates
Oh.
the legacy of Brock, however short it may be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
So, find the
Yeah,
UFC
but
guys.
actually, in defense of Brock, he actually is right now tied with Cain Velasquez for the most consecutive title defenses
See,
in
the
heavyweight
Division. Yeah.
division of the UFC. So,
Solid, man.
still, he was pretty good to defend it twice.
sure,
Defended
for
it
sure.
twice, right?
Mhm.
For sure. Brock's a beast,
Well, there. UFC eat up Bellator according to Spanky.
Ha.
though. For me, that's hey, I want to see Alvarez face maybe smooth Benson Henderson, something
Yeah.
like that, man.
We'll see.
Get him
we'll
in
see.
there, for sure.
All right, so that ends our Dojo Drifter 5 rounds. Catch us again next week for the next 5 rounds for the weekly hottest headlines
issues.
Yeah.
from the MMA world. So, on to the next part of the show. Well, you know, we made DojoDrifter.com, Dojo Drifter Live, to really promote our Filipino fighters. More than anything else, more
Yeah.
than the UFC, more than
Pinoy
Bellator,
pride.
1FC. I mean, the MMA community here is booming. You've got URCC, you've got fighters from
All
the
over
Philippines,
Asia, man.
From the Philippines in 1FC
For sure.
competing. You've got Team Lakay, DefTac, Ultimate Fitness. So many gyms are out there catering to MMA fighters.
Yeah.
And we'd like to use this show to introduce you guys to those fighters.
To get you familiarized, basically, with our
Yep,
fighters.
exactly.
Be proud of them. If you
Yeah.
see them, you know, it's like in the States, it's like,
Uh-huh.
can I get a picture? No, these guys are beasts in the cage, but man,
Yeah.
they'll just take a picture with you,
Yeah.
and you know, they're very friendly.
Yeah,
Very
and they're
hospitable.
very hardworking. If you consider the
Sure.
the amount of hours they spend in the gym, the punishment they put their bodies through in training, man, they deserve some recognition, and that's what we plan to do here.
Talagang Pinoy na Pinoy, di ba? It's
Yeah.
yung...
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak in Tagalog for a second here kasi we were talking about
Siyempre.
Pinoy fighters also. It's like what Gab said, it's yung background talaga natin na you see commercials na mga hardworking magsasaka and all of that. These guys, they come from Baguio and, you know, all of
Yeah,
these
simple lifestyles. Really simple
lifestyle
guys.
and hardworking.
Eric
you know?
Kelly used to be a taxi driver.
See, I mean,
Used to be a taxi driver,
so
and then he did stunts, like movie stunts. He was a bodyguard,
hardworking.
and then now
talaga, and
he's one of the best
For sure.
Filipino fighters out there. So you gotta give credit to those
I'm
guys.
going out on a limb saying he's one of the best fighters, period. Not
Yep.
just
Yeah, yeah, no,
Filipino.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely, definitely.
For me, he's also, ranked.
That fight in one, dude.
Yeah,
Solid,
exactly.
man,
But
solid.
we're not talking about Eric Kelly
Yeah,
today.
who are we talking about today?
For our Pinoy Fighter of the Week, we're featuring Edward the Landslide Folayang. And we have a video just for you guys. This is his first fight out of the Philippines. Check it out. It was pretty brutal. I chose this video just because,
Show the heart?
Yeah. I mean, dude, sobrang
Manny Pacquiao
makikita
style.
mo agad kung gaano niya denominate yung kalaban
Intense.
niya. And the fact na this was his first fight abroad and wala fight.
Puso.
Yeah,
yeah,
watch it,
puso.
guys. Check this fight out.
For sure, check it. Boom.
Boom. This doesn't have audio, so we can talk over it.
Solid.
They touch
So, yeah.
gloves.
Respect.
This is a guy
Edward
named
is the guy in
Jerome
red shorts.
Norita.
Edward
Ah,
is the guy
leg
in
kick.
red shorts.
See?
Man, the Lakay fighters have crazy kicks.
The
You know
guy
what?
fighters have crazy legs.
Yeah, dude. Because their conditioning is top notch. Their training up in high altitude is great
And he
under
has
Mark
Igorot
Sangyao.
blood, dude. Oh my
Look,
God.
the guy does his. He's trying to avoid
They
the
look like-
onslaught.
They
Man.
look like they're a weight class apart, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Boom, that brought him down.
Yeah.
And
you see,
whoever
they-
said that he doesn't know how to wrestle.
Yeah, I think Team Lakay guys have great takedowns and takedown defense, but with the up in competition in the 1FC, it gets tough.
Is this guy a former teacher or something?
Yeah, I used to teach up in
A la
Baguio.
Rich Frank.
And it's
Oh,
over.
God.
That was it.
Boom!
Boom. Athletic. Yes.
Like it ain't no thing.
Raise the flag. Raise the flag. I love it. Sounds brutal, man.
Solid.
Edward.
Okay.
Man, if
Yeah.
he was my teacher, I'd
I'd
get
be
every
the class,
answer
yes, sir.
correct. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
Sir?
just like what we opened the show with, he is Edward Folayang. We're giving out
Autograph.
an autographed 1FC primer with his picture on it.
Legit.
So, call now The number is down there.
631
Yeah, or tweet us.
2264. Again, that's 631-2264. Or tweet us at Dojo_Drifter or
That's
have the
right.
hashtag Dojo Drifter.
So who is Edward the Landslide Folayang?
Okay, basically, right now he is still the most recognized Filipino fighter
For sure.
in the country.
Pure-
He's solid. He's from
Pure
Pinoy.
Pinoy, so
Yeah.
I'm
Pinoy.
just saying, it's not, I have nothing against the Philams or yung may halo
Yeah,
na
yeah.
Pinoy, but this guy just, I get to say na purong Pinoy siya.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Just
Pure
proud of
Pinoy who
that
gave
Filipino blood, man.
who gave a half Pinoy problems in Ole
Yeah,
Larson.
dude,
I mean,
yeah,
when they
for
fought,
sure.
dude, it was a war, man.
Ole Larson
Great
was,
fight.
oh god.
But
the guy's a beast
Ole's
again.
insane, like kickboxing world champion, Muay Thai world champ. Much respect to Ole in that fight, and he beat Landslide.
That was
He beat
sick.
Folayan. Solid fight.
Landslide Folayang, he's from Team Lakay,
Mhm.
up there in Baguio. Like what you said a while ago, he was a former teacher. Where did he study?
University of Cordilleras. He graduated from there.
The
And
Igorot
then-
blood is so legit, man. Like
Yeah.
warriors.
Yeah,
I
all the
mean-
fighters, all the Pinoy fighters on the card of 1FC in December.
Mhm.
Igorot.
You-
Igorot
you know what?
fighters.
It's
It's
like
insane.
they were meant to be physical specimens because you live up in Baguio. It's
Yeah.
like it's so cold, you don't get a sweat going, and the altitude will just test your cardio.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
a ton of farming for your legs to be
Yeah.
super strong. Man, these guys were meant to be.
Yeah,
engaged.
even Victor Cui was commending the Igorot fighters. He said these aren't guys who just went to Baguio to train.
Yeah.
They were born there.
Yeah.
Their parents were born there. Their grandparents. So it's
Legit.
in their
Yeah,
blood
lineage.
to be in great condition, and
For sure.
it translates in the ring or in the cage.
But what else can you say about Edward to educate the viewers, OG?
Well,
So
right
I'm
now
sure.
he's fighting out of 1FC, the Singaporean MMA outfit that
Mhm.
caters to
Yep.
Asia, as mentioned. His record's pretty cool. I mean, pretty impressive. 12-4. Problem is he's coming from 2 losses. First is Lowen Tainanes at URCC 22.
You watch that?
Dekada,
Mhm.
yeah, we caught that live. And then the next fight was against Kamal Shaloros in one fighting championship, Rise to Power. Thing is, that was also held in the Philippines. Thing is, those two were wrestlers.
Yeah,
What can you say about
legit
Edward
wrestlers.
Folayang's wrestling? I mean,
He has great wrestling. I mean, and then first of all, Team Lakay guys, you notice they have great takedowns and takedown defense. He prior to the fight with Shaloros, whatever.
Yeah.
Edward flew to the States, trained with guys like Dan Hardy, Mark Munoz, Mike Van Arsdale.
Question: Was it too much of that training
Mhm.
first time training abroad and
Yeah.
first time getting
That's-
that kind of training?
Yeah,
or
some-
overtraining.
Some people
Let's
were,
question
that was a criticism of some people that maybe he got baka na information overload siya with
Yeah.
all these different coaches and approaches. We can't really say. You spoke to him about this though. What did
Yep.
you say?
Well, I interviewed him briefly during the 1FC press con. Basically, he's more focused now. The thing is, he kept on reiterating how holistic the training in the States was
Mhm.
as compared to how they trained in Team Lakay up in Baguio. Holistic meaning they trained in wrestling, in jiu-jitsu,
Mhm.
in takedowns, in striking,
Everything.
and everything all at the same time. And the thing is, my view on that whole training in the US thing was, I think it was just off timing. Binugbog kasi siya ni Lowen Tainanes eh. If you could research it, check out the fight against Lowen Tainanes and Edward Folayang. It was brutal, man.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
ended up with a crimson mask, but he's just all
Yeah.
blood. You
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that?
It was
And they
a
had to
doctor
start-
stoppage.
Yeah, doctor
Yep.
Because of
stoppage.
the-
exactly,
because of the cut.
exactly, for
doctor
sure.
stoppage. And why did he get that cut? It was because Lowen dragged him down to the ground
Started
and
raining
started
elbows,
raining
man.
elbows on his head.
And Lowen's a big guy. If you see these guys, I'm talking about weight classes again. I can't emphasize it more because if you see these guys, like, dude, this guy is 155 pounds. It's like, man, he doesn't look 155 right now. He looks like 180. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
guys, crazy power in Lowen, and it's just it was really it was really bad for us because we were
Yeah,
caught
because we
live.
were Pinoys.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
siyempre,
so-
we were cheering for Edward Folayang,
Edward,
who's
man.
the Manny Pacquiao
For sure.
of MMA.
Number one pound for pound fighter in the Philippines.
In the
you know.
Philippines,
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
Right now, we could also say Eric Kelly, but Edward Folayan is the face of Philippine MMA.
MMA.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah, going back to my point, that's the thing. He trained in the States. I think training for a fight in the States and learning all those things was just, bad timing. If he did it during his off season, maybe
For sure.
5 months
If
before
it was a
the
longer
fight.
camp.
Yep. If
Yeah,
it was a
maybe,
longer
yeah.
camp, then fine.
Nagulat kumbaga, I think what you're saying is, I went to the States. He went to the States to say, and started to train, and it's like, man, my fight's coming up. If he had more time to spread that out,
Mhm.
I think it would be better. I don't know if it was you could have asked him, but you didn't. It could be another reason that he could have gotten homesick. That could be a big
Yeah.
deal.
Saan
Even
umuwi
for
siya.
fighters, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
It's like, oh man,
yeah.
I'm in the States, miss my family. I think they've played. That could have been a
Yeah.
factor.
But actually, if you look at his fight with Shaloros, it was a great fight. He actually stopped a few takedowns.
Exactly, yeah.
And
yeah.
Shaloros is a national team of Iran in wrestling. To stop
Former
a
UFC
takedown,
fighter.
yeah, and he's a former UFC fighter. If you could stop a takedown, even just one takedown from a guy of that caliber, a wrestler of that caliber, you gotta have some good, solid takedown defense.
I think he's for me. I'm a big fan of Edward Landslide Folayan. He's gonna put it together. The information he got from the States and plus his work ethic.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
This with true champions. I think he's proven time and again. He's gonna put it all together and he's gonna come back stronger. And I am just going to be so sorry for his next opponent. Whether it's gonna be a
Yes,
rematch
exactly.
against Shaloros or whoever. Man, good luck to you.
Well,
And
he's
I
got
don't mean it.
He's got
I'm just saying.
he's got a
nah.
fight. He's got a fight booked for December 6th, 1FC, Moment of Truth.
Oh man,
Uh,
for sure.
Again, we don't know yet who he's
Yeah,
fighting,
there's still no announcement.
but I talked to him about it, and actually, he's more focused now, diba?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
That's the thing. If you saw him at the press con, he was quiet. No, two things. He was quiet and comfortable,
Mhm.
but you could see he was focused. Like he really wants to erase the last loss
Yeah,
here in
exactly.
You're
Manila.
only as good as your last fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
always the case. Hey, I just want to say what's up to Miko Halili, who they saw at the press
Oh yeah,
con
he
of
was there in the press
One
con.
FC also. So, hi, Sir Miko. That's it.
But yeah, when I had the 1FC
Primer.
primer signed, it was a picture of him versus
Shaloros.
He was really pointing at the picture, and he was like, sayang to.
Yes.
Babawi ako dito. Then yeah, I told him,
You
dude,
can feel the vibe that he wanted
Exactly.
that win.
win the next fight. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a rematch versus Shaloros
And
again,
guys, if you
or
wanna
if
see-
not, a title shot.
there are some pics of that One FC press con, and OG has this stare down with Edward the Landslide Folayan. My money's on OG. The confidence
Good luck.
in my voice.
Good luck.
In context.
I'm just saying.
If it was a triathlon, then fine.
For sure.
Let's go with it.
See?
Come on.
I mean, OG.
Cardio.
See? But I'm saying that it's on Dojo Drifter, Facebook. Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the pictures from
For
that. And yeah, I hope we got to introduce to you Edward
Folayan.
Folayan. His next fight, we'll
Represent,
talk
man.
about that
Represent.
a lot more in the near future when it's nearing, because his next fight is on December pa.
Yeah, December
So,
6th.
yup.
Good luck, Edward.
Yeah, Team
Shout out.
Lakay. Hey, Team
Hey,
Team
guys,
Lakay.
He watches, man. He likes.
Hey,
he
and if you
likes
guys
the-
can come over
Yo,
to the
man.
studio, we'd love to have you guys over.
Plus a ring girl.
Yeah,
You know?
why not?
Team Lakay with a ring girl.
Sir Edward, sorry.
But yeah.
Sir Edward, sure. Hit us up.
Baguio
Gigis
represent,
ka namin.
man.
Gigis ka namin.
Baguio represent. Best fighter in the Philippines
For sure.
right now. We'll try to have him on board in the next few episodes, but for now, watch his fights, research on him. You know, Manny Pacquiao is not the only fighter, Filipino fighter out
Respect.
there. Respect.
Exactly,
Team
exactly.
Lakay. So, what's
Moving on.
next?
What is next?
That's what I was
this
waiting
is-
for.
Oh man.
There's
We're
one
waiting
thing that
for-
we've been preparing for in the past few months, past few weeks that we've been doing this show.
Debating on
Thing is,
it. Always.
every MMA outfit right now has their own pound for pound list. Sherdog, you have Bloody Elbow,
Yeah,
All
MMA
of these-
fighting,
yeah,
MMA hour.
Dojo
MMA
Drifter
fighting, MMA hour.
has pound
Yeah.
for pound,
So
man.
yeah,
You're saying.
what about Dojo Drifter, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
How do we start this thing? I mean,
I think
we've
I'll-
got different opinions.
Right there.
We've got three guys,
Start
different
tweeting.
opinions.
Start tweeting, guys.
Yeah, start tweeting, guys. If you have your own pound for pound list, let us know about it. You can call us up. You can tweet us at Dojo_Drifter or call us up at 631-2264. But of course, we've got our own opinions on what the pound for pound
And
list
we are going to share it.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is our pound for pound list.
So,
I shall start it off, shall I?
yes.
Sure, go ahead.
I shall start it off. And my list.
Lima lang to
includes-
kasi if we extend this to
Oh
10
man, it's gonna
people,
be a 3-day
There you go, perfect.
episode.
yeah,
Our
3-day
first,
episode.
is it over here?
There
Yes.
you go.
There you
This
go.
is mine. My first would be Jose Aldo. He is the current and reigning featherweight, which is 145 pounds, champ in the UFC. Former WEC 145-pound champ also. He's my number one pound for pound because I think he has only one loss on his record.
Mhm.
And you have
Beast.
Anderson Silva, number 2. I
Yes,
am not a
converted.
fan.
Converted
No,
fan.
not converted.
Yes.
Not
Num-
converted, just to get things straight. It's not converted. I'm just saying I have respect for Anderson as a fighter. I just
Anderson.
don't like him. So the Spider gets number 2,
It's
even
not
though
to
he
like
gets.
the
Oh,
Matrix,
dude.
the Spider.
I don't like him for his everything.
Okay,
Anyway,
okay.
even though he got knocked out by Chris Weidman and he's not the champ, he's still in my. He's number 2, and I have number 3 is Hanan Barao. Even though it's highlighted in red because it's a wild card and it's one of the fighters we don't agree on.
Mhm.
Everything else we have it ranked differently also, but it's a unanimous list. So Barao, because his record is just sick. You know, he's on how many fight wins streak?
30 fights.
30?
Unbeaten in 30 fights.
man. That's
He
just
only
unheard
lost
of.
his first pro fight.
And
You know,
then
it was his
never
first.
looked
And
back.
he's been
Yeah,
on a tear.
Yeah, insane.
So he's fighting Dominic Cruz, and because he's still the interim champion. We'll see. I'm rooting for Barao, as I've said earlier. And next would be George Saint Pierre, who's fighting Johnny Hendricks next, and he's obsessed with Johnny Hendricks, and every day he's thinking about him inside the octagon as his opponent. And GSP, even though he's so boring and doesn't finish fights,
Yep.
boring could be intelligent because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
picks his.
I think he's
spots.
one of the lowest in terms of finishing fights with the title
But
holders.
he's the champ.
Yeah.
He's still the
Never
champ,
misses
though.
weight. Very
Yeah, yeah.
professional. The ladies love him.
Mhm.
Horrible accent, but
Sexy though.
oh man, what?
Yeah.
You said every
if
day.
he looked like Roy Nelson, dude, and he had that accent, he will not be sexy. I'm just saying. Anyway, for last but not the least, you have
Johnny Bones Jones. yeah.
Just make it happen. Silva and Jones at 205. Just make it happen.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. What about yours? You're up next.
Okay,
Gab.
let's wait. Anyway,
Still here?
Right.
okay,
on the
there.
screen.
I see it. Okay, so my pick for number one pound for pound would be Jose Aldo.
Jose. Scarface.
Because he's never been in trouble in any of his fights. Unlike who many believe is a pound for pound best right now, John Jones. John Jones has gotten in trouble a lot of times, and he had trouble fighting Gustafsson because of the size.
Yeah.
And Vitor almost got
Yeah.
caught.
So yeah, I'd place Aldo at number 1. Jones number 2, because he's beaten all these champions. But like I said, he's been in trouble, unlike Aldo has been. Aldo's always been safe in these fights, finishing guys. GSP, of course, he's a solid fighter, but his lack of ability to finish guys keeps him from getting that number 1
I
spot.
saw that meme, dude. It just
Yeah.
saying GSP, like, gets into a street fight, wins by decision.
Yeah.
What's up? Sorry.
So, Silva, I'd still put Silva in there because despite having gotten knocked out,
He's the
he's
Spider-Man.
still beat, what was that, 11 title defenses?
Dude, he was
It was
The
a crazy
most.
run.
For how many years?
8
man?
years. 8 years.
I think it was
as
9,
champion.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine?
Like BJ Penn said, if you're champion for almost a decade, you're gonna get bored.
Yep.
When you're a
Dude,
champ for
seriously.
almost a decade. And then I place at number 5, Cain Velasquez. I'm a huge Cain fan.
No.
Respect.
No.
Why? I just think because he also wins not just because of physical attributes, unlike
Cardio
Jones,
game.
who wins because of his reach. I'm just bilib na bilib lang ako sa all-around game ni Cain Velasquez. So that's my top 5, pound for pound.
Kane
Last-
versus Fedor, though. I want that to happen.
If only,
Never
man.
gonna
In
happen.
Fedor's
It's
prime,
gonna
in
happen.
Fedor's prime, that
Archie's
would have been
picks.
good.
Archie's
My picks.
Next.
Pretty different compared to you two. But
Ronda
baliktarin
Rousey.
natin. Yeah. I'll go with number 5 first.
Mhm.
Number 5, Ronda Rousey. Mainly because
She's
dude,
hot.
no,
Mainly.
yeah, given. But mainly because, women's MMA on the rise right now.
Mhm.
But pound for pound list, para sa akin kasi, it's really because, it's really about your skill. And not, that's why it's a pound for pound list. It's no matter what weight you're in, no matter what
Gender.
gender you are, I think you have to be included and you have to be represented in the top 5. And I
Yeah.
think Ronda Rousey fits the bill. She hasn't been finished. She's finished all of her opponents via armbar.
The first round.
All of her fights except for one were all on the first round, armbar on the first round. Dude, where have you seen a fighter like that?
Mhm.
Like what you were saying, like we were talking last night, if you know that a fighter is, the move is coming, you're
Exactly.
expecting it. You know
Exactly.
what
Yeah,
I mean?
but
You're
they-
training,
You've trained
The
for
armbar
months.
defense, yeah.
Yep.
and she still gets it.
Yeah.
Still gets it
I have respect, but
and
she's not hot for me.
breaks arms for it. And plus, she's hot. So yeah.
Okay,
go.
yeah, that's number
Ronda
5.
Rousey, number 5. And I just want to address, just to justify my pick. A lot of you might say that she hasn't proven herself against Cyborg. Para sa akin, it's a matter of weight difference.
It's a matter of gender.
They're not gonna exactly. They're not gonna meet at a comfortable weight. So, fight with or without Cyborg, she's part of my top 5.
Mhm.
Next, number 4, I have GSP. Same with the 2 points that you've written. I mean, he's there mainly because he's the champ.
He's the champ.
For a long time. Yeah.
Who do you see beating him?
And I think
Johnny Hendricks.
he's the most complete
Maybe,
fighter.
maybe.
He's the most complete
He's the most
fighter.
complete fighter.
For sure.
Exactly. Having been said that, GSP, although he's boring, I just really love his style na I'll beat you at your game.
Yeah.
He'll beat you
I mean-
inside the cage, and he'll beat you at getting girls. He'll beat you at style,
Exactly.
looking good. You know what I mean?
You're a
It's-
wrestler, I'll wrestle with you.
I-
You're
Yeah,
a
yeah.
striker, I'll strike with
You
you.
have a girlfriend, I'll get her. Something like that. I don't know. The GSP's just a ladies' man.
Number 3, I got Jose Aldo. Exactly. I mean, he's dominating his
Opponents, man.
yeah, his opponents.
Crippled Uriah Faber, man.
Man, that was
if you
surprising.
get a guy to change weight classes,
Yeah.
because the first fight, dude, you leave the
Mhm.
cage in crutches, man.
And this was a time when Uriah Faber was the
Yeah,
face
top
of the
food
lighter
chain,
weight
man.
divisions. Yeah.
Face of the WEC.
Yeah, and then to beat him the way he did and send Faber down a division, that says a lot, man. That's
Exactly.
Aldo.
And that's why he's number 3 for me.
Sick like
Thing is, you've got Jones lower than Aldo a while ago. But just to explain, number 2 for me is Johnny Bones Jones.
technically undefeated.
Because
Yeah, dude, that
technically
DQ
undefeated except for that
stupid.
DQ.
12 to 6.
Yep, 56
Elbow
elbow to the
manhandle.
head.
Hmm.
But dude, he's the next Anderson Silva.
We will
No, I think
never know.
he's just the new John Jones.
He will have to fight Anderson.
No, but
He should.
Dude,
I'd love to see
I
that.
mean,
bro. Make
he-
it happen.
The same way that Anderson dominated the middleweight, he entered UFC and did things that no one else
Dude,
could
this
do.
guy, this kid, I mean, he's so different from the time he entered the octagon.
Oh, yeah.
And how there are people who, normal people, have that learning curve.
Hmm.
He doesn't have that. He's like a computer, but the next time you see him, he's better. The next time you see
Yeah.
him. That's why if you have a chance to fight him now, it's better finish
Yeah.
it and defeat him, because the next time, man, it's gonna be much.
That's
much
true.
harder.
But I'd like to point out, with every fight, his opponents get smarter as
For
well.
sure, for
Because
sure,
you see
man.
him, he first got in trouble against Machida, and then he
Yeah.
almost got armbarred by Vitor. Here he was taken to a decision where many
By
believe he lost
Gustafsson.
by Gustafsson.
People forget.
So people are
this-
getting smarter as well.
This guy, the knack on him when he fought Vitor, the knack on him when he fought Machida was, did he have a chin? He proved that he has a chin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The fight against Vitor is his jiu-jitsu good enough? Yanking on that arm bar, maybe injured himself.
Mhm.
The guy's a jiu-jitsu white belt. And at the same time, his fight against Gustafsson, questionable hands, but hung in there, questionable heart. Still
Yeah,
a
he
champ,
proved his heart.
5 rounds.
Proved his
you know
heart in
what I
that
mean?
one.
John Jones, respect.
Okay, and your number one guy is.
And my number one guy is Anderson, the Spider Silva.
Enough.
A lot of people are putting him down on the list now.
Yeah.
But dude, Silva in one sentence just to prove to you that he's number one. Silva concentrated, Silva focused. Who can beat him? No one. Bro.
Chris Weidman.
No.
Man, we'll see in
Every
part two.
time.
Yeah,
All day,
Yeah.
every day.
How did he lose? By putting his arms down.
How did he lose? By getting punched in the face because the
By
skills.
being-
Yeah, that's why
By
this
being the
rematch is so
Spider.
important, man. This rematch, and I hope the Spider takes it seriously.
Yeah,
No, I
exactly.
mean he doesn't have to like go in as he went against Chael Sonnen in the
This
second fight.
This is my problem. If the Spider loses, there is a possibility. There always is. If the Spider loses, will he turn down a John Jones fight?
If
If
he
the Spider
loses?
wins, will he accept a John Jones fight?
I don't think he's ever gonna fight Jones.
Oh,
Honestly,
come on,
I don't. I want
Just
to see it. I don't
Joe
think it'll
Rogan,
happen.
Dana White, everybody in their right mind says, for history's sake.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
true.
This
For
is the
history's
Mayweather
sake.
That's
Pacquiao
true.
of the MMA world.
It's exactly.
has to happen,
Make it
just-
happen.
But okay, so what do you think of me picking him number one then?
Oh, dude, respect, man. It's your opinion. It's just I picked him number 2. I hate the guy. You know what I mean? It's just make it happen. The only thing I hate about Anderson and John Jones is like they've been ducking each other.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
That's
tiring. It's
Yeah.
tiring.
What I don't like about Jones is that he picks. Oh, hey, I don't want to rematch with Gustafsson. It wasn't that close, so I want to fight Grover instead.
yeah.
It's like,
But
hey, come on, man. Just take who's given to you. You
Yeah,
take
man.
if you're the champ.
Exactly.
Hey.
let Joe Silva do his job.
Yeah.
And that's the thing though with the UFC champs, namely my top two, Silva and Jones. The thing is, they're dominating the division so much that they're like, hey, like Silva, he ducked Weidman for such a long time.
sure.
Jones is picking his fights. That's the thing. You have the luxury of picking your fights when you're that good and that great.
It's just I miss the
Okay.
time. I agree, 100%. I just miss the times that if
Suntukan na lang.
if BJ Penn had a chance to fight the best guy,
Yeah.
whether he be a weight class up, a couple of weight classes up, people remember BJ got fat just to fight Machida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I say
he
they
got
should
fat.
fight again, man. If Machida's in
Yeah,
middleweight,
dude, oh my god.
and then
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
when
yeah.
BJ was at welter, that's one weight division. Make him fight again.
BJ Penn fought at middleweight, fought at welterweight, was champ at welterweight, fought at lightweight, forever be the greatest lightweight champion in my mind.
Yeah.
Now
Same
he's
here, same
planning
here.
to fight at 145. Dude, the guy just wants to fight. I miss those times, and it's not a question about super fights. Super fights will make a great headline, but just if Aldo will face Anthony Pettis, whatever weight class, Jones versus Silva, man, Kane versus Jones, you know what I
Yep.
mean? That would be
Exactly.
Yeah.
sick, man.
Exactly. So we've got Anderson, John Jones, Aldo, GSP. We've got that lockdown. Who's the fifth?
It's a toss up because we
You-
narrowed it down to 5.
You
it's-
go
it's-
for Barao.
I go for Burrow.
I
You
said
go for
Velasquez.
Velasquez. I go for Rousey.
Make him fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Royal
Rousey,
Rumble,
Barao.
man.
Yeah, dude, it's like blood sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
exactly. But I'm just saying that if we had a top 10, it would all be included in our list.
Exactly,
definitely,
Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah,
It's
we've
a
got
top five.
8 right now, right?
For
8
sure.
names. Yeah.
I would hire all these 5 guys to be my bodyguards.
Yeah, perfect.
And a girl, for sure.
Yeah,
I
and
wouldn't be ashamed of that.
If you guys want to give us your take on the pound for pound lists, like who you believe is the
Yeah,
top
tweet
pound for
us,
pound
call,
fighter,
man,
tweet
call.
us, call us, put it on Facebook.
For sure.
We want your voice to be heard, so go ahead.
Go ahead.
Follow
Yeah.
Dojo Drifter, please, man.
We'll go lock down our top 5. Tell us what you think. We're gonna post it on Facebook. We're gonna post it on the website. And next week we'll lock down the top 5 pound for pound list for Dojo Drifter. We just got it out of the way. Now at least you
Opinions
know,
were
you
heard.
know where we're standing individually. So
Hey.
to be continued.
To be
Yeah,
continued.
definitely.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to emphasize call to win that autographed. Again, I can't say it more. The
Mhm.
autographed one FC primer by
Yeah.
Edward.
It also
Lansad
comes with a
Soler.
lanyard.
With a
One
lanyard,
FC
man.
lanyard.
It would be, call us at 631-2264 or tweet
At Dojo_Drifter.
or with the hashtag
Yep.
Dojo Drifter. So
Yep.
are we gonna check the tweets or something?
Okay,
Like
so
that?
while Gab is checking that, we're nearing the tail end of the show. So
What's next?
we just want to end the show with what's next for the MMA world? What you guys should expect for the week, and what you should expect for the show next week, next Monday. What's next? Two fight headlines. The first, let's start with locally. We'll have the PXC 41
Yep.
this Saturday.
That's a Saturday. We'll be there.
Yep, we'll be there definitely. Shout out to Mark Striegel. We'll watch your fight, bro.
Respect.
Okay,
No
so
good.
let's talk about the card a bit. There's a lot of great fights here. Yeah, PXC 41. There's a title fight. The flyweight title fight is on the line between Ali Kali, our very own Ali Kali, defending his belt against Luis Smolka from Hawaii.
It
So
says here he fought at weight class higher, and I think either he's making his featherweight debut.
No, Smolka went up a division just to tap out Jesse Raffles in the last PXC event. He
But
did
he
it
really
in the
fights
first
at
round.
25.
He really fights at 125.
man.
He's finished all 4 of his fights. He's 4-0. This Smolka guy. So this is gonna be a great title
Tough
fight.
test for Ali Kali.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
who else? Crisanto Pitpitunge will be fighting.
Let's see the card.
Russell Dwayne had to leave the fight. He left the card because of an injury.
So he got
Had to pull out.
replaced by
Yeah, Han
Park.
Bin Park, 1-0.
Yep.
So that should be a great fight. And also Mark Striegel, 12-1, will be taking on.
Mark Striegel.
He'll be taking on Ev Ting from New Zealand. This is a rematch. Mark already choked this guy out, rear naked choke in the first round before in 2012. So this is the rematch. But I spoke to Mark, and he's saying he's not taking Ev lightly at all. He knows that both of them have made significant improvements since the first fight. So there's no counting him out. This is going to be a great fight this weekend.
And they're both coming from losses. So
Yeah.
we'll see how they
How they bounce back, yeah.
Yep. And just a note, the main event for Saturday's card, Ali Kali versus Luis Smolka. They're coming off 2 wins from very, very notable fighters. Ali Kali coming from a TKO win against Erwin Tagle.
Yep.
And Luis Smolka coming from a win with Jesse Raffles,
Former URCC champ. So the
former
guy's solid.
URCC champ, 1FC
Dude, that's a sick
fighter.
name, man. What is
Jesse
Smolka?
Yeah.
Raffles.
Solid guy, young guy, that the Luis Smolka.
So yeah,
Great submissions.
pretty excited for that card. See us there. Check it out live. It's gonna be at the NRS Sports Center, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just across our studios.
So
Over in
what's on
Mandaluyong.
the card as well.
Oh,
the
and
other-
another significant fighter fighting on the card. We've got
Guam.
we've got
Filipinos.
yeah, we
A
got
lot.
Harold Banario, the brother of former 1FC
PXC,
champ Honorio Banario. We'll
Team
check him out.
Lakay.
I mean, I talked to Honorio Banario about it, and he's been saying that he's happy with his
It's
brother's
like the Pettis
performance.
brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah, ang alam ko nga, there are 3 Team Lakay fighters on this card.
Yep.
And then Team Lakay they
Support
won 2
winners.
fights in the last PXC. So I think these guys are reinvigorated. These guys are out to prove something. That they
Coming
are
from a
still,
string of losses.
that they are still the best team
Can I just throw
here in the
this out
Philippines.
Let's promote Philippine MMA. So you have Mugen Striegel fighting at 45, and you have, this just popped into my head. We talked about this last night, and we have Eric Kelly who fights at 45. Make it happen, guys. I'm just saying.
That would be great.
Sick. It would be
Yeah.
sick.
Mark
The-
Striegel, Eric Kelly, 1FC.
That fight would be in the hospital because it would be sick.
We have so many great featherweights here in the country. It's ridiculous. They're just spread out in different
Yeah,
promotions. But yeah, man, we're rich in talent, this country.
for
Yep,
sure.
yep.
man.
So we'll check that out this Saturday, PXC 41.
Other
Can't
event.
wait for it. Pretty exciting stuff. Next event, back in the UFC. It's UFC Fight Night, Belfort versus Hendo.
I'm a big Vitor
Henderson.
Belfort fan, baby.
Well,
TRT.
I have no idea how that's gonna go. TRT.
I don't know, dude.
Isn't Dan Hendo on TRT
There's
as
so,
well?
No, dude.
Because they're both
I
old.
think so,
No,
man.
Dan Henderson.
It's a
was
battle
on
of the
Vitor
TRT
started-
fighters, huh?
Peter started when he was really young at 19 years old. I think he's ancient at 35 or 34.
Yeah, he's still young.
Already. He's still young, but he's been in the game so
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
So long.
Then
Dan
he seems.
Henderson,
body is
if I'm
tired.
not mistaken, is 43, man.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Well, this is a fight at light heavyweight, so it
Is it?
might. Yeah, it's at light
Yeah.
heavyweight, so it
Oh,
won't have
man.
an effect, I think, on the rankings in middleweight.
I just don't get.
I have
that
no idea who'd
TRT,
win.
man. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
dude,
Oh, man.
why isn't not illegal? I mean,
Mhm.
everyone is. I mean, John Jones, the champ, is saying that it gives you an unfair advantage, and how could it not?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it gives you more testosterone.
He's saying that now because he's 26.
Haha, and doesn't need it.
You know, it could change his perspective if he's
Once he's
still fighting
40,
at, 30,
yeah.
33, even 33.
And that's
Listen.
why you're an athlete. I mean,
For sure, there's always going
Yeah.
to be that passing of the torch.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
dude, that's a long debate. TRT, marijuana in MMA, all these PEDs.
For sure.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. Nick Diaz. It's just talking about marijuana. It's like because you get so hyped before the fight, you know, or even at weigh-ins, you know, you smoke a bit of doobie. You know, calm
That helps.
yourself down. You know,
Yeah.
get the jitters out of the way.
Yeah.
You don't gas yourself out. So it could be also a PED if you think about it. If you have
depending on how
glaucoma,
you see,
Yeah.
how you
depending
see
if
it.
you have glaucoma.
That debate can last us 3 episodes.
For
man.
sure, man.
So, but
If you have any opinions, again, tweet.
going
Tweet,
back to the
Facebook,
fight, it's
anything.
Henderson versus Belfort, strikers, dude.
The
Should be a great
H-bomb.
fight. Should be a
H-bomb
great
versus
fight.
Fast hands of
I mean,
Vitor.
you gotta note, Vitor's got pretty sick kicks now.
He has kicks now. He's spinning back kick win
Mhm.
versus Luke Rockhold, which no one expected.
Yeah,
Exactly.
great kicks. Head kick, Bisping in the head.
See, man.
Head kick, yeah, for the knockout.
H-bomb, dude, always dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so it
I
should
got
be a great
Vitor
fight.
for this one.
I got
by
Vitor,
KO.
Vitor,
but I got Vitor
I
by
don't know,
KO. But
Henderson, you're too old.
because Hendo's chin, man, you can't knock
Ah,
that
well,
guy
yeah,
out. I don't
dude,
know. I
that's
have
the
no
thing,
idea who'd
though.
win this one.
we'll see, bro.
wanna
but
see.
Will Hendo utilize the wrestling? Will Vitor utilize the jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, let's see.
We'll
man.
see. We'll
Other
see.
aspects
So
of
let's
that
discuss that in next week's show. So we'll end it with that. UFC Fight Night, Belfort versus Henderson, Sunday, PXC 41 on a Saturday.
JDS.
Well,
JDS.
check us out then. And that's the show, guys. Dojo
Hey,
Drifter
thanks
Live.
for tuning in, everyone.
He's been your,
I'm Gab.
I'm Spanky.
and I'm OG Yap. This is Dojo Drifter Live. Catch us again next week.
Next Monday,
MMA
people.
all day, baby.
Saying what's
MMA all
up to
day.
Liz. Saying what's up to Liz.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
shout out
Rich.
Def Tac. Peace out, guys. Thank
Shout
you.
out Workshop 1, Camille.
Camille. Boom. Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom.